I can't speak for the tariffs in the States, but over here I think a lot of the networks are trying to build loyalty, so they encourage people to call people on the same network, and so that's why they start to offer a reduced rate. I don't know, I mean, historically, the cost of calling in the UK has come down substantially, sort of over the last sort of 10 years since mobiles came about. You know, it used to be sort of 50, 60 pence to make a call per minute was normal, especially like calling cross-network, and it has come down substantially with that. And also we have a lot more inclusive minute tariffs, so it's only really sometimes on like the pay-as-you-go that it actually makes a difference with who you're calling.
It was interesting earlier talking about the differences between us and France, for example, where the telephones are open, they're not locked.
Yeah.
But of course that means that things are a little more expensive over there.
Yeah, exactly.
And I've noticed that even in Spain, you do pay a bit more.
You do, yeah. I mean, they don't often have such a thing as a free handset on a contract upgrade or a tariff, or a new connection. You are paying, you're paying almost the full price for the phone to get it. But then, as I say, you can't have it always. You can't have a completely unlocked handset to use on anything you want and get it at a subsidised price, because networks,
they need to get their money back.
They need to get.
There is no such thing as a free handset, in fact, is there?
No, there's not really. It's just a subsidised handset, really. Yeah.
And you do have to pay for it in the long run, one way or another.
Yeah,
You've got to pay for it. Somebody's got to pay for it. Mike in Colchester, good question, Mike. What's a dongle and what does it do? I mean, I know the answer to that, but there'll be a lot of people perhaps who don't know what a dongle is.
Yeah, I mean, I think a dongle is actually a little bit of a generic term, I think, for something that plugs into like a USB port, because you can have like Bluetooth dongles and things like that. But when we're referring to a dongle here, it's a USB stick modem. So it's sort of like a little stick that plugs into a USB port, and 9 times out of 10 will contain a SIM card and basically gives people internet access on their laptop.
So that's what a dongle is. It's like a little tiny mobile phone you plug into your laptop then.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Or a modem that contains a SIM card, just use, yeah.
OK, how much do they cost? I mean, that's bound to be a question. Are they expensive to buy?
It depends on how you do it. I mean, on pay-as-you-go, I think you can pick them up for about £30 on different networks now, and then you just top up as and when you need to. Or on contract, no such thing as a free lunch, but they're free.
OK, so some are free?
Some are free, yeah.
Well, they're not really.
No, I mean, sometimes with a contract, sometimes you get slightly better tariffs. Yeah.
OK. Text here. Thanks for your text. Can a mobile company boost a signal to a phone? Because since my hubby's had a new phone, he says on his insurance he can't make calls and he gets cut off. He's got the cheapest non-contract tariff, but my cheap phone on the same tariff is fine. So what they're suggesting is, because they're on a different tariff, have they got a lower power on their phone? No,
I mean, it's certain phones and even different models will work differently and pick up signal differently. I mean, if it's a similar model to the one that he had before, it could be that he's got a fault on the handset, and he needs to sort of speak to where he got it from. But no, and there's no way of boosting an individual handset. There are different, gadgets out there that you can boost signal either within your property, or there is, there's a little sticker that you can see on the internet, which is a signal booster that is just like a sticker that you put on there that gives you an antenna, which can make it's a funny little thing, but it does actually can make a difference to you. But I would say maybe try swapping SIM cards over and just see if it is the phone that's at fault. It could be that you've got a faulty phone there. Worth checking then. Yeah. So just do a quick swap of the SIM cards, as long as you're both on the same network. On the same network, yeah. If you're not, which I think you suggested you were texting. Yeah, I mean, tariff doesn't make any difference. Just a quick word, if you are texting, don't forget to pop your name on, and then we can at least say who you are. Don't need to know where you are, but who you are is nice. Here's another one. Loving the weather, stuck at work. This texter says, I'm an O2 customer, and I love getting free internet each month and 300 free texts for a tenner. Yeah, I mean, that sounds quite good. It is quite good. I mean, as I say, a lot of the networks, if you look at them, if you're topping up a certain amount a month, they will give you free allowances of certain things. And O2, I know, do the free internet. So with the iPhone, if you buy an iPhone on pay-as-you-go, or for a tenner a month, you can get free internet with it. Or is it free if it's a tenner a month? Yeah. It's £10 a month. Yeah. That £10 is going somewhere. Yeah, so yeah, it is always worth looking, even if you've been with the network for a little while. They do, their packages do change, and they do reward their customers. And what about this from Tom? Tom says, why have most mobile phone companies changed their contract length from 12 months to 18 months? Tom, you'll probably find that they're actually trying to change them now from 18 to 24. Really? Yeah, I think it's trying to build in as I said, you know, this is the age-old thing, nothing's for nothing, and the networks are trying to gain their money back. As people get better value, they get more inclusive minutes, more inclusive text. You know, most people know if they want a £30 tariff, they don't go over that. So the networks, you know, but they still want the top-of-the-range handset for not a lot of money. So it's basically, it's the way of the networks trying to offer customers better value, but by offering them better value, they want to keep them in contract for a longer time.
Reading between the lines, it's a way of paying for these free handsets,
yes,
then, isn't it?
It is, yeah. They, you know, they have to get their money back at some point, and it's taken the networks longer to get their money back, so they time people in. But, you know, most phones have at least a 2-year warranty on them, except iPhones, actually. But a lot of the new phones do have a 2-year warranty on it, so, you know, signing yourself in for a 2-year contract, you know, you still get warranty for the handset, yeah.
It's always interesting when you're with us, Sarah. Thank you so much for giving up your time. We'll be talking mobile phones again on BBC Essex, I'm sure, in the very near future. Sarah George is from Ideal Phones in Malden. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, I will do, and you.
Latest travel news from BBC Essex is next.
Radio. Great to sing along to. Even better when you let it flood into your kitchen with the beautiful world of BBC radio stations. Well, now it can do even more than that. It can help. It can be recycled or sent to help children in Africa when you trade in your old portable for discounts on a range of new digital radios. You save money, they get a reconditioned radio that opens up a whole world. It's brilliant.
With discounts on selected models at participating retailers, you'll get more from digital radio this summer.
Digital radio, future radio.
Visit getdigitalradio.com for more information. BBC Digital Radio is available on digital TV and online.
BBC Essex Travel.
5 to 4, here's Barry Lewis.
Thanks very much, Steve. The northbound M11 is queuing because of an earlier accident between Bishop Stortford and Saffron Walden, junction 8 to junction 9. Now being cleared there, though. Queuing down towards the QE2 bridge from junction 28 at the A12 on the clockwise M25. Those queues will take you around an hour or so to get through. It's busy coming into Essex at the Dartford Tunnel, back as far as Dartford at junction 2 anti-clockwise, and then very slow from Lakeside on the anti-clockwise carriageway, junction 30 up towards the M11 at junction 27. A13 queuing towards Southend from the Pitsea flyover towards the Victoria House roundabout in Hadley. In Leon C, the London Road A13, traffic lights have failed at the junction with Cranley Drive, just close to Waitrose, so be careful if you're heading in that direction. Southend on Sea, on the seafront, is busy on Western Esplanade, and Chelmsford, no problems there. In Colchester, quite busy on Head Street this afternoon. Still delays because of an earlier broken down train at Ilford, affecting services between Shenfield and Liverpool Street. Delays there up to 30 minutes. Your tickets being accepted on London Underground and C2C services. I'm Barry Lewis. Next update in 15 minutes.
BBC Essex Travel. Log on to bbc.co.uk/Essex.
Got a great weekend of programmes coming up for you on BBC Essex. Don't forget, Ian Wyatt will be waking you up on Saturday and Sunday morning with his breakfast programme. So do listen in to Ian. Safely back from Oslo after last weekend, and I'm sure he's got one or two stories to tell about that. And then, of course, on Saturday morning, well, at 9 o'clock, it's time for your gardening questions. Ken Crowther's here for his advice programme. Keep your calls coming on any gardening questions you have. 11 o'clock...